time. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. No, 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 no. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it, yeah. Just you and me. Change it, yeah. Change it, yeah. Just you and me. Change it, yeah. Change it, can't do it alone. I need some help, y'all. Can't do it alone. Won't get no better if we just let it be. No, no, no.
Yep, we can count you in.
All right. Welcome to Truth Forum, a forum to discuss truth and the freely surrounding like we do at home at the kitchen table. I'm your host, Dr. Smith. I do have the license and the rights to perform the songs and notes and lyrics licensed by BMI. I'll continue to lead compelling, relatable, and honest conversations. My guests will range from community leaders and professionals and real people whose stories will touch and inspire you. Discussion will center around relationships, real stories and personal struggles, and amazing, triumphant, and compelling topics in the news. If you'd like to be a guest at the kitchen table, you can call us at 269-282-1490 or email us at kingdombuildersworldwide2@gmail.com. I'd like to thank God and thank you for all of my hosts and for those at the camera and those that are working in the studio. I am grateful for all of you. For time's sake, we will move forward, introduce my guest, and I'm grateful for my co-host, Doug Jones, and all of you that's made this broadcast possible. I'm honored and excited today to have a guest, a young man that has came a long way in a very short period of time, none other than Elijah Glass. Let's put our hands together for him. All right. I just kind of overlooked everybody's name because of time's sake, but I think it's always appropriate to recognize the producers. So Tiffany and Ronnie and Carl English and Mike Campbell, thank you, and my son T2 on the camera, Kara Bowden and Yvonne Armstrong on the camera also, Doug Jones co-host, and of course our guest Elijah Glass. I'm going to start off by reading a quote, not even so much of a quote, but it's something that I saw, and I want Elijah, we'll do something different instead of introducing him and having him start sharing a couple things. I read somewhere where it said that many black males get this message that they are in danger, they are vulnerable or at risk. When they're much younger, they hear it in the middle of high school. Certainly sometimes they hear it in the 3rd and 4th grade. Now think about that effect when you hear those words, how it affects your psyche. Suddenly your destiny is no longer your own. It doesn't matter who you are. Your fate is tied to a long history of racially struggles, and then you're very limited. And that word is black men or black males are in danger. In other words, they're comparing these young black men as a group of people that will eventually disappear from the earth. Before we get started with just talking to Elijah, when you hear that, you're 23 years old. When you hear that your group, your age bracket, may just disappear one day, how does that make you feel?
Don't make me feel good. Like, 'cause knowing more about how, like, the stuff is going on, what you mean, like, you say that, like, I'm learning more about that, so
reason why we say that is because that's what we've been saying. And today we want to stop making that comment. As leaders in this community, pastors, preachers, teachers, mentors, coaches, let's stop making the statement that our black men are in danger. Oh, we're all in trouble. But to say they are endangered species, what if you heard that all your life? Then what kind of hope and purpose would you have? So today we have a guest today, Dr. with Brother Elijah Glass. Just tell us something about you real briefly, your age, and you went to school. Just give us something brief about you right now.
I'm 23 years old. Birthday May 14th. I went to Battle Creek Central.
All right. Co-host, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Bishop.
Okay, we're talking to a 23-year-old, and a lot of them don't like to talk, so we're gonna get some discussion out of him today. First of all, I'm proud to be considered your spiritual father. I'm proud to see what God is doing. But I'm going to start off. I'm going to read a couple articles, Mr. Glass, that tell me what you think about this. What do you remember? Put yourself in these shoes and tell me exactly what it do to you right now. Elijah Glass, 21, 173 Greenwood, plead guilty to possession to a controlled substance less than 25 grams, sentenced to 6 months in jail, and credit for 1 day served, 198 fines, costs, fees, Calhoun County Court Judge John Hallisey. You know that's out there. What you think about that? You a changed man now, but when you got that, how a young man even start that? You're only 23. How you even get caught up in stuff like that?
Just being out in the streets, not having nowhere else to go, nothing to do.
I'm hoping this show will get all of our officers, all of our caseworkers, all of our judges, all of our leaders. I'm going to show you how to change somebody. Because you're looking at a living, I'm going to call him a living legacy. I'm talking about a young man now that was predicted to be dead, but now will live to be an old man and will be able to raise his kids and children because of a system that we know is because of God. You know about that, DJ? We know about God. I got one more I want to read. And the reason why I'm proud, because I'm proud to be a part of this. I'm only mentioning his name. We ain't going to talk about nobody else. After responding, police were notified. Elijah Glass, 23 years old, suffered single gunshot wounds to their legs. I've never been shot before in my life. I don't want to be shot by a BB gun. Matter of fact, don't shoot me with a squirt gun. DJ, he was in Vietnam, so you been shot in the head?
No, I've never been shot in the head. Never been shot at.
So Elijah, you're a baby to me, man. You're younger than my own blood son. Well, not so much of why that happened, but when a person gets shot or they get shot at, what does that? What message is that giving you out here? What does that mean, man? When you got old folks like us hearing about there's a gunshot. Oh, I got shot in the leg. Tell me what's going on in the head. Just you tell me what it means. You did not so much of that story, but just the young generation. Do they fear being shot? Does that bother them? What does it feel like you've been shot? Obviously, tell me about that.
Well, first I never thought that I would be shot, honestly, but nowadays I don't think people are scared to get shot. Honestly, right. If they was, then they would be trying to do something different.
I started off by sharing two important things. Young man been shot. Nowadays, you don't think too many folks care about being shot. I kind of agree with that. Today, we're going to try to change all that. And we're using a great man like him to help us do that. Tell me your thoughts when you see the word R.I.P. Joe. R.I.P. Kahari. Am I saying it right? And then R.I.P. Wendell. When you hear that, R.I.P. stand for rest in peace. Every last one of these young men were under 25. He's 23. When you hear that, how you feel about that?
When I hear R.I.P. in front of them?
All three names. Yes, when you think about the death of those three names.
Part of me I still get a sad, angry feeling. But then a bigger part of me know what I'm doing is for them and because of them. So now when I see that, I mean, it used to make me angry, but now it's like I know what I'm doing for them.
So if it used to make you angry, it's a good chance that it still make other folks angry. And when it was making you angry, and just because he's not angry doesn't mean he no longer care, okay? But you realize he's been taught that he has to take his anger and utilize it to different areas of his life. So just because he's no longer angry doesn't mean he doesn't care. Actually, he's able to care more now. But when you were angry, what did that mean? What before meeting me and meeting the ministry and meeting God, which is most important, being angry mean to do what? You gotta speak up, they say, Elijah. You gotta talk loud. They want to hear you anyway, man. So just talk up loud. You got that little cool voice that will be the DJ.
So what you asking when I was angry?
Yeah,
how was I feeling?
Yes.
I mean, I was wanting revenge, feeling mad. I was doing stuff. I just was angry, hot-headed.
So today, we're going to talk about how I don't believe black men are at risk. I believe black men, and not just black men, but I believe that we just need opportunities. Elijah, I had a chance to meet you at a funeral service. I would like for you to tell the audience from that day we met the first time, through all the text messages, to when I saw you again, what made you respond, and then where are you at right now? Share with some things you've learned and some things you may want to try to articulate to all these young people that's listening and following you. And you got to talk up loud too.
Well, first I was introduced to Bishop, my spiritual father, at one of my best friend's funeral, Kyrie. And we exchanged numbers, and he was texting me, checking on me every day. I never would text back. He still texts, even though I didn't text back. My mind wasn't trying to do the right thing. My mind wasn't on doing the right thing because I just lost somebody close to me. So I wasn't even texting him back or worried about nothing he was saying. So I just went on about my life, and another one of my friends got killed. And I didn't know he was going to be doing a service or none of that. He just happened to be doing a service. And something just hit me at the second funeral. I don't know what it was. If it was, like I said, God or friends or whatever it was, but something just like, you gotta do something different. I don't want to see another one of my friends in the casket. And as far as how I am now, and once I met him and I started coming and having meetings with him and coming to church and just wanting to change, like me really wanting to change, I'm happy now. I'm waking up, wanting to go to the church like I got a purpose. I didn't have a purpose at first. I was getting up just living out here, just to live, I guess. But now I'm getting up, going to the church. I got a purpose. I'm working on stuff, and I'm trying to get the message out there to my friends and more, because I know what's out there. Eventually, I know the road that they're gonna go down if they keep going down that. And you're not a good friend if you don't try to help. Period. You can say you riding for your friend or you want revenge, but at the end of the day, if they could talk to us from the dead, you know, I guarantee they'd say go the other way. Really belong to the kids. That's what I'm trying to do.
Good.
Deacon Jones, let me ask you, man. You got a 23-year-old brother, man, and he made a comment basically until he met us. He said he didn't have no purpose. 23.
Mm-hmm.
23, you know, we talking about you go to high school, you have fun in high school, you're trying to go to college or the military, or maybe get a technical skill or something. But at 23, basically, I didn't have no purpose. I wonder how many people out there, Deacon Jones, is in that position. How many of our babies are saying the same thing to Elijah? Elijah not just speaking for Elijah, I'm for sure. So as an older man that you and I are, how that make you feel, man?
It's sad to think that there's a lot of young men out there that are going to go down that road because they don't have anywhere to go. And it almost feels like, that, you know, at what point did we, my generation and the generation after mine, fail, you know, these young men? You know, we have a lot of guys that want to help, older men that want to help these young men, but sometimes it's hard to reach them. And just a few minutes ago, you were making a comment about guys don't have a problem being shot, and it almost seems like they don't have a problem of, you know, going to jail. It's like jail is just another place to go. Is that like an out, or
It's
is
just
that
people think they get this image or something for being shot or going to jail or something. They give them a bigger name.
where does that come from? I mean, where did that mindset start? Why? You know?
It's just people, the way, I don't know, society.
Is that is going to jail like you feel like you belong to a group, or it's just identification?
And I talk louder, they really want to hear us. You gotta talk louder. Go ahead.
Identifying with.
I think it's just more trying to more of it is trying to fit in, trying to have that image of being you tough. I went to jail. I've been shot.
Okay.
That's just it. It's nothing else to it. People just want the image.
And
A street
image is so
image.
important. That image is so important.
Yeah, no doubt. And I understand where they're coming from. And the thing is, Deacon, it would be their parents. See, we're falling, even though Elijah is my son's age. I started late having children, but it would be almost their parents that we missed. Not so much, yeah. We would be almost in that grandfather category. So it would be their parents, the 35.
Legacies are handed down.
Exactly.
And generations.
But that's that generation that we have to discuss. We need to talk to those 35-year-old mothers and those 40-year-old mothers and those 45-year-old mothers and those 45-year-old fathers if they're living. That's that generation that somewhere.
Our kids.
Yes, our kids, which we probably missed somehow.
Right.
But so Elijah, you are. I noticed you. I see you on Facebook and you're inviting people to do a lot of things. There's something you all want to do, you're going to do on this coming Tuesday. Tell us what it's about, what made you decide to do it, and what you'd like to see happen.
Well, it's an event called Let Your Voice Be Heard, and it's basically to let your voice be heard. Like anybody with ideas on how to stop the violence that's going on, get people to come together. Like this is just your chance to come talk in front of everybody. So everybody, it's a mix of people there. Everybody getting different thoughts. Everybody just coming up with a plan together.
So let me explain and share something, and I'm going to see if Elijah have felt the same way. So when I'm not a person that say God told me some things, but some things is God. And there's something from that Bible literally speaks to you, and you know that's what you need to do. And then there's a rhema, where you believe God spoke to you directly. And then there's a need The need calling is what most people go by. They see a brother in trouble, I should help them. They see a sister in trouble, I should help them. Elijah was a rhema. And there's a whole bunch of Elijahs out here. He was a rhema. I'm not sure exactly how it got started. I don't know what hit my heart, but God was like, get him. So, Elijah, when you hear that a preacher is trying to talk to you, prior to what you're learning now, what was your understanding of church people, and Christian or God? Being a young man. Before. And then tell me what you think most of your friends may think.
How I thought before is the same way my friends think now, most of them. And it's like, I kind of always knew it was a God or, a higher power or something, but I never, believed. I never really believed, because even though I had experiences, I never knew at that time, why I was going through that or what I went through that for. Because I didn't believe, I didn't read scriptures really to even understand what they meant or nothing. And that's really a lot of my friends right now, they just don't believe. They don't believe because of the stuff that's going on around them. But now that I'm learning more, I'm learning just the world, how the devil works. Most of the stuff is the devil. I'm learning how to live with God, my regular life is just how to live with God, and it's helped me way more than people would even think.
See, that generation don't say too much, y'all, so we got to get it when they say it and keep it moving, because they're going to just say it, they're going to move on. That's profound. Listen, if there's anybody that has some positive questions that you want to ask Elijah, DJ will monitor the questions, and we'll be glad to try to read some of them, or if there's any comments that you all would like to make as we go on. So Elijah, there's something that you heard in class, that without a vision, the people perish. And you learn that means we have to have a purpose. We have to lift up all the restraints. When there's no vision, folks just do whatever they want to do, and that's what you said. Y'all just out doing your thing at 23. Now you have a purpose. Without going into detail, say what you want to say. It makes you feel comfortable. What you don't want to say, don't say it. But tell us about little Elijah. Tell me about how far you want to go from the beginning to where at 23. Tell me about your life, however you want to say it. Just let everybody hear something about Elijah, which will be called a autobiography. Tell us about Elijah, the little Elijah, the teenager Elijah, and now the grown man Elijah.
The little Elijah, I don't really remember too much, honestly. I don't remember too much.
You got siblings?
Yeah, okay. I got a handful of brothers that I can't even just name right now. I got 8 brothers. Okay. I got 3 sisters, 2 on my dad's side. Okay. I lost my dad when I was younger. I didn't know him. Okay. I lost him when I was 3 weeks old. I just been with my mom. She raised me and my brothers, really. We had a stepdad. He was there. Teenage me, that's when I went, 14, 13, I just started doing whatever I wanted to do. Out here getting into trouble, going to jail. I spent 4 or 5 birthdays in jail.
You spent 4 or 5. I don't know if the mic is by his collar. That could be the problem. But hey, man, your stuff is good. They gotta hear you. You talking good, man. You the show. The show is about you today. All right. So you spent 4 birthdays in jail?
Yep, 4 or 5.
Man, in the Calhoun, or you too young?
No, Calhoun County. I went when I turned 17 in the county.
So you go to the county at 17?
I went at 16. I turned 17 in the county. It was I had a month left to my birthday, so they just sent me to the county.
Okay, wait, let me get. Wait,
You go at 17 though.
Oh, you go at 17.
But I was like 16 and 1 month. I had 1 month to my birthday.
Gotcha.
Until I turned 17. So
Okay.
they just left me in the car.
So you was a happy birthday in jail.
Honey buns and stuff.
But you had a honey bun for you.
Honey bun and Snickers.
Okay. Okay.
I think you got a good smile, man. You got a beautiful smile. So he had a honey bun and Snicker on his 17th birthday. Okay, so you've been in jail about, you said 4 times?
17, 18, 20, 21.
So when you're in the cell, man, did you see yourself before us meeting seeing 30? Did you see 30?
Nope.
No. And it didn't mean nothing to you.
At the time, no.
What's the oldest age did you see then?
20 something, 25, no more than that, honestly.
And there's a lot of young brothers feel the same way. So when they say, oh, Elijah, man, he down there with the reverend, the bishop, the doctor, man, he ain't serious. Man, please, man, he owns something. I mean, I don't know how y'all talk, so I just got to talk my generation. Man, he owns something. He ain't serious. You feel that people say that right now?
Mm-hmm.
But you a winner, man. You look like you a winner. You look like you try to, you got fight in you. And what God does is God take what you had in the streets and he allow you to use it for what you do for God. God take people that other folks. Did you feel that people gave up on you?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever question my motives?
Yes.
Talk about that. And the reason why it's important because what you're doing is you're helping so many other people. I'm asking these questions because I realize that it makes sense. What motives were you questioning? What were you thinking? What was your... Why did the old man trying to reach me?
Yeah, like why, what do he want with me? What reason he want with me? Like what could I do for him? Why he trying to save me, if anything? Like, I don't even know him.
Y'all hear that? They don't even have any belief in themselves that somebody would love them that much. Now, Elijah he's exciting, he's young, he's really getting involved. Now, we talk. I get on him, I may say, no, slow down. He made a statement, and I want him to articulate the statement on Facebook, because I watch everything he says. You said that we got to get folks involved, and then you made the comment that, you know, I'm gonna have to expose some people who ain't doing what they supposed to do. What you mean by that? See, we don't need another Dr. Smith right now, man, because we're trying to win people. So yeah, I don't want you to expose nobody. But what did you mean by that?
Just the people that's in the community I would say, we all can make a change, but the people who got the sources, who could really make a change, like, who can give, like with the kids here have nothing. We don't have nothing. Don't no team have nothing to go to. I was trying to go out yesterday and only could do bowling or the movies, and that just made me think, like, we really don't have nothing here for and that's why people get in trouble, because they get bored. That make them want to drink, smoke, and if you doing something with your time or you got something to do, you're not even gonna think about drinking or smoking.
Y'all hear this? I need y'all. This no paid interview. Elijah and I have not had no conversation, but you ain't talking to no rookie. You talking to a young brother that was out there with the hood on his head, and some of y'all would go across the street when y'all saw him. And look at him. He's dropping knowledge. He's showing compassion. He's changing. Let's embrace this change. Let's not be one of those communities that's so busy on other stuff that we don't hear the voice, because he's speaking for so many other people. DJ, what you think, man? What you think? He's crying out saying, bowling. He called me last night about I can't even bowl anymore, but I ain't know where the bowling alley was at. I thought it was called Nike, but they changed the name, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, anyway, so you got bowling. We old, so we don't think about stuff. Mm-hmm. We like to go home. I like to go home at 6:30, sit on the couch and watch Sanford and Son. I'm good. I'm good. But a 21-year-old needs something to do.
I remember growing up back in the day, you know, we had the youth building. You know, a lot of the middle schools was open. We could go play basketball. You can go almost anywhere in the city.
You go to any school.
Any side of town to go play basketball.
Yes.
And in the neighborhood, we had a bowling alley. We didn't have to go all the way out there to Lakewood. But there was things to do. The skating rink, you know.
We did.
And they don't have those things right now. We don't have any of that for the young kids today, for teenagers or young adults.
Anybody saying something? Because that's a concern. Because we had Midway by the McKnight franchise. We had I'm talking about skating, y'all. We had Spring Lakes Lane, Knockies, M66. So we had 3. We could play at Lincoln.
The youth building.
We had the pool.
Yeah.
Y'all, that says a lot. That's just our generation. Then you had the Hamilton Center for the older people. So why should we expect our children not to get in trouble if we don't have anything for them to do? That makes a whole lot of sense. So back to your point. So you're saying there's people out here that got deep pockets that can make a difference?
Yeah, the whole.
Yeah, speak up just a little bit.
The whole. We failed. The whole Battle Creek failed, really. Police, doctors, all of that, teachers, everything. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, basically.
That's what he's saying, y'all. Is everybody failed. We got to start all over again. Doctors failed, teachers failed, lawyers failed. Yeah, he's a product of this city. And he's telling you, I'm here, y'all, because of this. But now I'm trying to change, but I got a whole lot of other people that need the same opportunity. So what are some of your suggestions we do? If you were the mayor of Battle Creek, or if you were the senior pastor of Kingdom Builders, or if you were a city commissioner, a Calhoun County commissioner, or you were a superintendent of the school board, what would Elijah Glass do? Gotta talk loud.
I would plan out stuff for kids, for the teens, like similar to what we doing at Kingdom Builders. We is starting something for kids, a community center where people can come, swim, play basketball. Like, I would do stuff like that. Like, I would we got all of them places in Kalamazoo, like airway lanes, the little jumping place. We can have all of that here, but we don't got nothing.
You know, I heard about airway, man. So tell me about what airway is, and don't we have to have a high ceiling? Can our building do that? What's airway?
Well, they got different things.
Yeah, they got a bunch of laser tag,
yeah,
go-kart stuff.
They got an outdoor track,
yeah.
Little go-kart track, and it's an entertainment facility.
Okay, but I'm saying since okay, so let me ask y'all this, Butter. Across the street from my church, they don't exist anymore? You know, I've been gone for a long time. Is it still there? They got driver's range? Golf course?
I don't know if the golf course, is the golf course still there? The driving range? Okay. Not golf course.
So it's seasonal?
Driving range, yeah.
Okay. But you talking about indoor stuff, right?
Yeah.
And outdoor too. You know, little go-karts.
Right.
That's outdoors.
Yeah, outdoors.
Are you familiar with the golf cars across the street from my church? On Columbia? Well, sir, if you're by any chance listening to us, maybe you're not, but we would like to find out who you are, and maybe you might want to sell your business to us so we can, or partner up with us. We want to utilize your facility. They're literally right across, and they have a go-kart. I don't know if they still have it or not. And they got the little golfing range. I know about that. Is that all we have in Battle Creek?
Yeah. Most likely. I forgot about that one, yeah.
Okay. And then back to this trampoline, because this is like the third time I've heard that. Is that something with high ceilings where the kids can jump?
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't have that capacity to do that. That's something we got to build outside, right? Okay. All right. Okay. Hey, we're also going to talk about the financial piece. There's something that I was doing I read an article in which the author appeared to believe that giving financial information to poor people was a complete waste of time. The person argued that poor people do not have the resource to invest, to save, buy home, and their condition is one that will affect or afflict them until the day they die. This was the article now. And the author, which I won't mention, he mentioned a disease they compared to cancer. And this is what they call it, the poor people's brain. They say with this disease, the author argued that because poor people have so many problems on a daily basis, they have virtually no ability to plan for the future. Now, before I give you all my point, I want everybody to hear this. This was an actual article. And the article basically said you have a disease now called poor people's brain. And they're saying that poor people do not have the ability to do any planning because they're just broke. Before I even come to my 23-year-old spiritual son, DJ, what you think about that article? Just that statement alone. Because it seems there's some truth to it, maybe not. What you think about it?
Well, I'd like to know where's he getting this data from? Is that something this author just come up with? Or is there something to support what he's writing about? Well,
would you not agree that if you're poor, you don't have resources to save, invest, or buy a home? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay.
So what is he saying?
That's what he's saying.
Right. So
because you're poor, you can't save, invest, or buy.
So what is that person that can't save, invest, or buy trying to get to? If they don't have the means to get to, maybe they're content with where they are. So I guess I don't know why he's making that statement.
Let's not care about why he's saying it, Deacon. I'm asking you, let's try to go past that.
Okay.
Even though we're poor, we should still be able to save, invest, and buy.
Right.
That's the point I want to bring out.
Right. And it's difficult too when you don't have any money.
So you have the poor brain.
I disagree with it.
I'm asking you.
I just disagree with it.
Okay,
I disagree with it. Poor brain, like it's a disease, I disagree with that. If you don't have the money to do it, I mean, it doesn't matter how big your brain is. You ain't got no money, you got no money, you know?
So what you think about that, Elijah?
I'm confused, kind of.
so Facebook question. All right, hold on, Facebook question. We'll get a hot second. I like y'all little church fans. Listen, so this is my belief. When I read articles like this, I don't get real upset like Deacon just did.
I'm not upset. I'm just disagreeing.
Come on, Bishop.
I'm not upset.
This is my belief. The same thing that afflict poor people's brain, we can just have rich people's brain. Okay? Mm-hmm. Meaning that we can still save, even though we're poor.
Right.
That's what we want to start teaching. You can still invest even though you're poor. Because I am sure that even though we may not have as much, you can still put a little money away. You can still save a little money. Mm-hmm. Because we've always been taught it's not how much money you make, it's what you do with it. And we as poor people, we dress like rich people. I don't see too many poor black people with no poor name stuff. I know folks that's broke and they got name brand clothes. Mm-hmm. I'm the one that got stuff from Walmart. So we got a question on Facebook. What was the question? I mean, you gave it to the fan, but did you give it to my man Deacon?
Who said it? Who? Kevin. Kevin Jones. Kevin's saying $2 billion business in the city with nothing to do. He's saying we need a Craig's Cruiser. Most brilliant inventions was made by poor people. Cost of living rises. is rising and wages hasn't. He has comments more than he has a question. I don't see a question from Kevin.
But thanks for sharing that, Kevin.
Yes.
What was the name of that company said? What name he said?
Craig's
what?
Cruisers.
Craig's Cruisers.
Oh, that's the name of the place?
No, that's
It's in
in
Grand
Grand
Rapids.
Rapids.
That's what he's saying we need.
We don't have we need a
Yeah.
Craig.
We need a Craig's Cruisers.
And what is that? A golf cart thing?
Yeah, and the same little games.
Okay.
Arcade games.
Okay. So while we're talking about this, a good friend of mine, I won't mention her name unless she's watching or there's some peers that's watching for the sake of privacy. I don't think she have a problem with mentioning her name because she made some statements. As you all know that, they're considering, it's just a rumor, we don't know how true it is, closing down, what's the place by Sears? The old Sears? Horrocks. And moving it to the Lakeview Square Mall area. And so a lot of people were upset about it, and we made the comment of maybe we could use that facility, move it to Kmart, and just open up one in our own city, in our own community. The question becomes, do we have people coming together like Elijah said? Elijah, let me ask you a question. The dope game. Back when I was coming up, DJ, Butter, there was a lot of money to be made. You got legal weed now. Everybody's smoking it. Marijuana, I don't know. Is it big? Can you make a whole lot of money out here now?
Unless you got a real connect, like from Mexico or something. No.
Okay. So people is out here risking their lives on a couple $100 a day.
Less than a paycheck, yeah.
Less than a paycheck. So when a young man say, I ain't going to McDonald's, man, forget that, man. I ain't gonna work for McDonald's, man. Shoot, I'm somebody. Were you one of those kids that ever said that? Mm-hmm. And why wouldn't you go to McDonald's? Because what? You don't want nobody to tell you nothing? What's the reason?
I don't know. I guess it's just people just feel like they too good to work at McDonald's or something.
Okay.
It never really was a reason.
Okay. So if there's no real money out here being made, we just got to come up with some ideas of how we can get these young brothers back involved. At the service, we talked about getting the north, south, east, and west. And we talked about an older generation helping us out. It looks like you're going to be the one that's going to help spearhead this. You have heard me say many times that a lot of us are family members. Have you ever, or did you ever notice when you were doing what you were doing that the guy on the east side, there's a possibility he may be my cousin, or the guy on the west side, there's a possibility he may be my cousin, or the guy in OP, that's Orchard Park for you old people, that may be somebody my cousin, or it didn't matter because that gang was more important. Did you ever?
People know, we know family who was family. It just got to a point where it didn't matter.
Did y'all hear that? Say that one more time, Elijah.
I said we all know we family, south, east, north, but it just got to a point where we just didn't care.
So when the preacher get up and preach, and Elijah said something very good, he said, there's some things that I could say that could make them upset because it may be truth, but it may not always be as accurate. But what are some of the things that churches could do better that we're not doing? What are some of the things that churches can do better? I know you're going to keep talking to me, and I'm going to do my best to respond as a stay in our vision. But what are some things that churches, because when you think of the church, what is the church designed to do as a young man who didn't even really believe?
Now it's just strictly just helping others. Really, just helping and caring for others. And something that all the churches probably could do is when it's more death or violence around, people can get together and go to the houses and comfort the moms at the houses, and like not just a phone call or something like that, like just be more involved.
DJ made a comment about these young people won't speak to us or we can't get them to speak. When you all are out there and somebody pull up like me, and there's a possibility y'all may be strapped or whatever the terminology, may have had some alcohol on you, and we walk up to you, how dangerous is that for real? Because the reality is, it was hard for me to be scared of my own children. I saw y'all as my children, so I wasn't scared. That doesn't make me anything special. It could just make me crazy, okay? But there's a lot of folks that would not come to y'all. If y'all, let's just say y'all at Claude Evans Park, would you want them to come to you? Now you're a new man, but I'm trying to get everybody to understand that group. That older group say, he don't want to hear nothing I got to say. Is that true? Do y'all really not want to hear us?
To an extent, I would say, because it's more, I think it's more of like y'all don't understand. Or some parents don't even try to understand. They just, they wait. They don't even try to understand what the kids are going through.
DJ, you gonna help me out? You gonna come on in?
Mm-hmm.
We got about 10 minutes, man. What are people saying on that phone?
Well, Rosetta is expressing a lot of support for Elijah, and wants to know how many people watching are going to do the same thing, support a young man like Elijah, or Elijah himself. Brenda Moss, she made a comment. Maybe someone like you, Bishop, should offer financial classes to our young people. How to save money and how to invest and how to create a budget, you know, and actually you've done that, you know. I guess maybe open it up to the public. I think that might be a good idea.
Yeah.
You know,
They gotta want to do it too. People
right?
gotta
You have
wanna
to want to do it.
The kids gotta want to do it. The parents is want to, but the kids gotta want to do it.
Absolutely. Rosetta also said that McDonald's starts out at $10 an hour. For those interested.
So Elijah, we got about 7 minutes left, man. I want everybody to know, and I gotta give my applause here on my computer. I want everybody to know that I am so proud of Elijah, because what he has done in a matter of few days is amazing. All right, I want y'all to know that. Doesn't mean that he's not having any challenges. Doesn't mean that he's not even having any other thoughts. But the fact that this is an example, when you say what really mattered was love, would you agree with that? At the end of the day, what connected us together? You believing it was true. What was it that made you say, okay, I'm gonna try this? Really?
Like, you care, love, just somebody to care, wanting to see the best in somebody, I guess.
And your generation can see through somebody who's playing games. Can y'all see? Can y'all tell when somebody just trying to hustle somebody?
Nah, it's a 50-50. You can't. I
50-50.
say you can't. Yeah, you can't really say that.
Because
like I said at the beginning,
I
I had my doubts about you, and I
Right.
was told I was wrong. So
let's talk about this. Back to your doubts. I want everybody to hear it. So the doubts. What doubts? What was those doubts? Where those doubts come from? Did it come from your head? Did it come from just environment? Where those doubts come from?
Me, probably some personal stuff, and then, like I said, we didn't have somebody come to Battle Creek and say that they was gonna make a change and do this for the kids and do that, and they end up running off, not helping nobody at the end of the day. So
Okay. So you have personal experience of someone doing what I'm saying, and they actually left.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. We won't mention the name of that person, but we'll keep that moving. Elijah, we will be here on Tuesday.
Yep.
7 o'clock. All young people, all parents, please come. Kingdom Builders in the cafeteria. We're gonna just talk. Elijah Kamara Jones will be working with that. I will be there.
Providing food for y'all.
Providing food for everybody. What you think about what's going to take place? We had Pastor Boyd and Stephanie Boyd on the show, Elijah, last week. They got that event coming up. I think it'll be Friday, right? March 1st?
Yes.
Heal Our Hearts. One of the panel members, your brother, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's something we're going to try to support that also, right?
Yes.
Again, the goal is to get everybody involved, work together, mentoring, coaching, and as I said today in our sermon, we need more fathers. Fathers are individuals who doesn't just leave when the game is over, or and that's not a bad thing. We need coaches or mentors. Doesn't just leave when the grant is over. That's not a bad thing either. But the Bible said we need fathers. Matter of fact, when you heard that today, how did that resonate? Matter of fact, Deacon, let me ask you first, and then we'll go to Elijah. When you heard that message today about how we don't have enough fathers. We have the mentors, we have the coaches, but the fathers. What was your thought about that?
I think it's true. Fathers are going to always be there all the time, around the clock, giving advice. A coach does what coaches do, But when you have a father figure or a father, that means you're there from start to finish.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And you've had
Huge.
that. And you've had
Yes,
that.
I've had that. Yes.
And you still do.
I still do.
And your mom and dad celebrated how many years?
57 years last week.
57 years.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And so you've had a father from day one, and he was very much involved, and he was a class act, and that did help you.
Yes.
But as Elijah said, you still have to make choices because you had a brother that still went astray for a minute.
Right.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, we got 5 minutes left. DJ, you got 1 minute. Elijah can give us the next 3 minutes if you got something you want to say to the people, and then we're going to dismiss in prayer. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, just real quick. I can't pronounce her name. Kyrene Avia.
Karen.
Is that what it is? You know her?
She goes
Okay,
to
I'm
church.
sorry, Karen. The young people will want to get involved and do better when they see young leaders who see what they see here in Battle Creek. The age gap sometimes can intimidate the youth. And then Rosetta called out an individual who had some programs in the past that didn't work. So she's doing what you do.
We ain't calling no names out.
I'm not going to say it online.
So back to this young lady. She said what? Is she his age or is she a kid?
I don't know
She
who
go
she
to the
is.
church.
Who is she?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
I am so sorry.
Now, what did she say again?
She said the young people will want to get involved and do better when they see young leaders who see what they see.
Young leaders like Elijah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Anything you want to say, DJ? We got about
No,
2 minutes.
I think you're doing a great job, brother, and you got my support, always.
Okay, Elijah, you got your last words, man, before we dismiss in prayer. Say something to your people, man. Try to say something these 3 minutes, man. Don't just one.
Oh man.
Say something.
Man, just try to change. I don't know, it might seem hard, but really it's just about action. Like everything is about action, putting action behind everything, and that's all it takes. You can say stuff is hard, scared, or whatever, but you just gotta do it at the end of the day. I didn't want to come up here, but I did it. So at the end of the day, it's about action. That's all I can say.
It's about action. That's good. Well, look, y'all, I'm going to close. I got a young brother on the show, so I probably should change my song. And I'm going to try to find a different closing song for this one. But I guess I can't find one right now. So, I'm going to end it with my song, y'all. Hey, y'all, listen. The change is here. The change is here. Yeah. I always acknowledge my ancestors. Leo Del Perry Sr. and Ruby Elizabeth Perry. Those are my grandparents. Those are my mother parents. And my mother, Georgia Lee Howard. Georgia Lee Perry Howard. Thank God for her. She's still with us. Love her to death. Then my father's side. You know, today would have been my dad's birthday. I've been leaving it at that. And my father, my grandfather, Edward West Smith, and Gussie Smith. And of course my father, Hughes Smith. See, we're all humans. We all get touched for a moment, then we just keep it moving. You think about it and you move on. But today would have been his birthday. Listen, y'all, we have to work together in a network. That's what a network is. It was Mother Ethel who heard me say, I want Elijah Glass. I spoke it out. God showed me Elijah. I have a niece/cousin that's very close to Elijah. She reached out to me but didn't mention the name. I said, God, I need him. So relationship caused us to connect. Then I saw him at the funeral. Like he said, we talked, and now we're here. That's what this is about. We as a church, we must be like Issachar. We got to know the time we're living. We got to understand this generation. We got to let them know we love them, but we also got to hear them. No, they cannot try to regulate a lot until they mature and grow up. But we got to give them an opportunity to fly because they are the warriors. We are the men and women of wisdom. So let's pray for Elijah that all those spiritual demons that would love to stop him, that we put a hedge around him, that he's protected, that he's safe, and he'll become that new preacher that can reach those children that I would never be able to touch. We assign him, and we're going to trust him. Let's pray together. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this moment. We thank you for this hour. We thank you for Brother Elijah Glass and for this show. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backwards thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty. Oh, wake up all the teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. They're the ones who's coming up.
AccessVision, your voice, your community.